Welcome, friends, to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at something maybe a little unsettling, something we've probably all brushed up against. The idea of a simple wrong turn.
That moment your GPS glitches or you miss a sign.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're tired, maybe distracted, and suddenly you're somewhere else. Usually, it's just an inconvenience, right? A few minutes lost.
Usually.
But what happens when that detour isn't just inconvenient? What if it leads you somewhere dark? It's something horrifying you never could have seen coming.
Yeah, where a wrong turn becomes life-altering, or worse.
That's what we're exploring today. These aren't fictional stories. These are real accounts of people who took a turn and ended up face-to-face with genuine terror.
It's chilling stuff.
Okay, let's start. Late summer 2013. There's this young guy, he's just landed like this dream traineeship. A motorcycle paint shop in Charlotte, North Carolina.
So doing something he loved.
Totally. He'd been into bikes since he was a kid. This is it, his big shot. Making a bit of money, learning the ropes, maybe a full-time gig down the line.
Sounds promising.
Yeah, but it meant a long commute. 2 hours each way from his parents' place in Martinsville, Virginia. So that first day, he gives it everything. Absolutely runs himself ragged.
Understandable. First day nerves, wanting to impress.
Right. And by the time he starts driving home, he is just wiped. Utterly exhausted.
And that's when it happens, I'm guessing. The mistake.
That's it. Driving along somewhere near Salisbury, he takes a wrong turn. Suddenly, he's seeing signs for places like Mocksville, then Clemens, North Carolina, nowhere near his route.
Okay, so he's lost.
Yeah, lost and starving. He figures, okay, slight delay, no big deal. Pulls off in Clemens, finds this place he called Junk Food Heaven, grabs a biscuit, tries to figure out how to get back.
Makes sense. Need fuel, need directions.
But his phone's dead, completely dead. And he's too tired to even properly look at a map. So he thinks, I'll just ask someone, the family thing to do.
Seems reasonable.
That decision takes him to an address, 2947 Nob Hill Drive. First thing he sees. Two punk girls sitting outside smoking. He figures they look approachable. Maybe he can chat them up a bit, mention the new job, get directions, maybe even a phone number. So he walks over.
Right. Trying to make the best of a bad situation.
He asks for help getting back to the highway. Turns out they're not even from around there. They drove all the way from Ohio just to hang out, which, seemed a little weird to him.
Yeah, that's a long way to hang out.
One of the girls says, come on inside. Someone in there will know. We might have to find Pazuzu, though. Pazuzu. He'd never heard a name like that. Thought maybe it was a cat's name or something. Honestly, he was so tired he didn't really register it. He just followed them inside.
And stepping inside.
Whoa. It was just an assault.
Yeah.
Instantly. He called it a Hell's Frat House. Skulls, creepy Halloween stuff everywhere. Yeah. Bumper sticker saying, evil will triumph. Weird quotes on the walls.
Okay, immediate warning signs.
Big time. And he noticed historical German memorabilia on the ceiling, including symbols that were very reminiscent of a really dark past.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Nazi-related stuff.
It was implied, yeah. And the walls, covered in these strange occult-looking symbols, this weird writing that looked kind of like messed up Arabic.
So not just messy, but deliberately unsettling.
And filthy. The whole place just stank.
Yeah.
And the music, just pounding black metal so loud he could barely hear himself think. TV room full of people smoking, drinking.
Holograms on the walls.
And pictures. Really disturbing pictures. One was framed, looked exactly like a crime scene photo of a body.
Jesus.
And get this, an empty fish tank lit with red lights crawling with huge tarantulas.
Okay, this is a lot. It's unsettling how even with all these huge red flags flashing, sometimes fatigue and maybe a bit of morbid curiosity can make you push past your gut feeling.
Yeah, it's like his brain couldn't quite process the danger yet. He's tired, maybe a little intrigued by how bizarre it all is. He just wanted directions.
But they didn't just give them to him at the door.
No, they led him deeper into the house.
Yeah.
And the smell. It went from just like needs a good clean to something truly awful.
Right.
Like something rotting. They go through the kitchen, into another room, another tank. This one had snakes, like 4 or 5 snakes, different sizes.
Okay.
And then he sees this guy sitting at a table, clearly high, pupils like pinpricks. And in front of him, a decapitated snake.
What?
Yeah. Its blood was drained into this little brass cup. And right next to it, heroin stuff, needles, cooker, the works.
Right. This is the turning point, isn't it? It goes from just weird punk house to witnessing something deeply disturbing and, frankly, illegal. That's not just edgy decor anymore.
Exactly. This isn't just shock value. This is real. He's seeing something awful. And that's when it clicks for him. This place isn't just weird, it's dangerous.
He needs to get out now.
He tries, shouts over the music, something like, hey, I'm just going to try my luck back on the road. But the girls stop him. Nah, we'll get your directions, but we got to go see Pazuzu.
There's that name again.
He asks, who's Pazuzu? And one of them just laughs. Not a nice laugh.
Yeah.
He was creepy, ominous. Like she knew something he didn't, and it wasn't good.
Yeah.
He said this knot just formed in his stomach. Every instinct screamed, run. But that exhaustion mixed with this like morbid curiosity.
Yeah.
He kept going. He'd never seen anything like this.
It's a strange pull, that kind of morbid fascination.
So they lead him through these corridors.
Yeah.
But they weren't really corridors, just pathways through piles of trash, broken furniture, old food bags, junk everywhere. He had to like climb over stuff.
Just navigating through filth.
Yeah. He saw one door, maybe the bathroom, covered in graffiti about wasted lives. Stuff like, here you are reading bathroom graffiti instead of doing something with your life. Even the graffiti was bleak.
Wow.
He's gagging on the smell trying to follow them. Then they get near the basement entrance, and this wave of stench just hits him. So bad he actually throws up. Violently. Loudly.
Oh, God.
The girls just laugh again. Tell him to man up. Say it's only cat litter or something. But he knew. He said he absolutely knew that wasn't cat litter. It smelled like death.
He knew. Gut instinct.
He stumbles into Pazuzu's room. It's the worst yet. The carpet felt like gravel under his feet, just crusty. And this huge patch of black mold on the ceiling, like severe mold.
And Pazuzu.
There he was. Shoulder-length dreads, wearing some kind of turban, tattoos all over his face. The word Satan tattooed clear as day on his forearm, moving slow, obviously really high.
Okay.
But his eyes, that's what got him. Pale blue-gray, but just dead-looking. No life in them.
Yeah.
Even when he smiled, which he did.
That's terrifying, the disconnect.
The protagonist, trying to act normal, mentions the smell like, man, it's rough in here, maybe clean up. Pazuzu and the girls just laugh. Pazuzu says, real calm, all that right. Don't pay no mind, they're just the bodies in the basement.
He said what?
Just the bodies in the basement, then more laughter. Pazuzu takes this deep sniff of the foul air, like he enjoys it, and says, you know how cleanliness is next to godliness? Well, filth. Filth is the path to demonhood. All this rot, all this decay, all this filth, it gives me power.
Wow. Okay, that statement, filth gives me power, delivered so calmly. It's not just random crazy talk. It suggests a deliberate cultivation of this persona, using squalor and taboo to control the environment and maybe intimidate people. It's about psychological dominance, normalizing the horrific.
It worked. The protagonist finally understood he was in serious danger, and then he spots it. A .22 rifle.
Yeah.
Just leaning against the couch where they were sitting.
Time to go. Absolutely time to go.
He makes his excuses. Fast. Gotta work early. Cool house, thanks.
Yeah.
Just back it away. Try not to look scared.
Yeah.
Half expects them to block him, like in a movie.
Right. The horror movie trope.
But they didn't. The path was clear. He scrambled back over the trash. One of the girls followed him all the way to his car. And as he got in, he saw a whole crowd of people who come out onto the steps, just watching him leave. And they did not look happy he was going.
That image is terrifying, just being watched like that.
He peeled out of there, somehow found the highway, and eventually made it home. Told his parents, who were completely freaked out, obviously, told them never go near that town again.
I bet.
Tried telling some friends, but they mostly thought he was exaggerating. The story was just too insane.
Hard to believe unless you were there.
Exactly. Then, fast forward about a year, he's living in Charlotte now, got the full-time job, he's eating dinner, watching the news, and they start talking about a murder.
Okay.
And he hears the name, Pazuzu. His head snaps up, and there on the screen is the guy. Dreadlocks, face tattoos, Pazuzu Olgarad.
No way.
The news report said they found a body in the basement, a child's body, starved, shot in the head, covered in cat litter and bleach.
Oh my God, just like you said, the smell.
Exactly. And they showed one of the girls he'd met, one of the blonde punk girls from Ohio. She'd been arrested too. Pazuzu later killed himself in prison.
The sheer horror of realizing Pazuzu wasn't joking, just the bodies in the basement. He literally walked over a grave. The smell was death. He wasn't just in a weird house. He was in a house of horrors and barely escaped being part of it. That realization must be paralyzing.
Absolutely. It makes your blood run cold. It shows how thin that line is. But sometimes the danger isn't just about stumbling into the wrong house. Sometimes just being in the wrong place, an unfamiliar place, is enough.
Right, especially when you stand out.
Which brings us to our next story. Sarasota, Florida, April 2011. It involves two British friends, James Coops, 25, and James Cazares, 24 of them called him Jam.
On vacation, I presume?
Yeah, celebrating. They'd met at university, became best mates. Just having a good time in Florida, you know? Nights out, beers, seafood, typical tourist stuff.
Living the dream for a bit.
Until April 15th. They'd been out, had a few drinks, and decided to walk back to their hotel. They were drunk, laughing, having fun, but they got lost. Found themselves wandering the dark streets of Sarasota's Newtown neighborhood, an area they didn't know at all.
Lost, maybe a bit intoxicated, in an unfamiliar part of town at night. That's a vulnerable situation.
Very. And someone noticed them, a 16-year-old kid named Sean Tyson. He heard their British accents, got curious, and started following them.
Just curiosity at first?
Maybe, but it didn't stay that way. Tyson, despite being only 16, was apparently known for stick-ups. He often carried a .22 revolver specifically for robbing people. His curiosity turned predatory pretty quick.
This really highlights that vulnerability of tourists, doesn't it? They're disoriented, maybe relaxed because they're on holiday, less aware of local dynamics or dangers. Prime targets for someone opportunistic like Tyson.
Definitely. Tyson catches up to them. He doesn't want to chat. He wants money. Coops and Jam, maybe thinking he's just asking for change, offer him what little they had, which was basically nothing. They'd spent their cash for the night.
Okay.
Not good enough for Tyson. He wants bills, phones, wallets, and he pulls out the gun, the .22 revolver.
And for two guys from the UK?
Exactly. Gun culture is vastly different there. Seeing a real handgun pointed at them, it wasn't just scary, it was shocking, utter terror. Any thought of fighting back just vanished. Understandable reaction. But they had a major problem. They genuinely had no money left on them. Their cash was back at the hotel they couldn't find. They're trying desperately to explain this, terrified, offering their phones, whatever else they had.
So they're complying as best they can, just without the cash.
Right. Tyson takes the phones, other stuff, but he doesn't buy it. He thinks they're tourists, they must have cash. They're just holding out on him, lying to him.
And this is where it gets dangerous. When the robbery isn't going as planned, and the robber feels disrespected or like they're being played, ego gets involved.
That seems to be exactly what happened. Tyson gets more and more agitated. He keeps following them, gun in hand, demanding this money they don't have. He's convinced they're messing with him, that they just need a little motivation. At some point, he snaps, walks up behind James Coops, says something cold, like, "Since you don't have any money, I got something for you."
Chilling.
He shoves the .22 into Coop's side and pulls the trigger. The bullet tears through his liver, kidneys, intestine, just devastating internal injuries. Coops just collapses, this awful sound of pain.
Instant agonizing pain.
Jam sees his best friend just shot, bleeding on the ground. Pure panic. He drops to his knees next to Coops, just begging, "Please, mate, we're just on holiday, we're drunk, we don't have any money, just please don't kill us, please." Tears streaming down his face.
That raw plea, the sheer terror and confusion, trying to appeal to humanity when faced with inhumanity, it's heartbreaking, highlighting how suddenly their holiday turned into this absolute nightmare.
Tyson must have expected this to be the moment they finally coughed up the non-existent cash. But no, Jam just keeps begging. And maybe then, finally, it dawns on Tyson. They really were telling the truth.
And for him, that's embarrassing. A failure.
Seems like it. His instincts were wrong. No big score. Plus, now he's got an attempted murder on his hands. And a witness. A witness who's seen his face, heard his voice. In his mind, there's only one solution.
Eliminate the witness.
While they're still pleading for their lives, Sean Tyson raises the revolver, aims at Jam's head, fires. Then he empties the gun, the remaining 4 shots, into both of them, making sure they were dead.
Just cold efficiency. Horrifying.
Then in the quiet aftermath, with dogs barking nearby, Tyson bends down and picks up the spent shell casings.
Covering his tracks.
But he does something else. He pulls off their bloody t-shirts, pulls their pants down around their knees.
Why? Was it humiliation? A last search for money?
It's unclear. Could be either. Maybe both. But when police found them, it looked brutal, like an execution.
Just senseless.
Tyson gave the gun and the casings to a friend, Jermaine Bain, told him to bury them. But Bain, he sold the revolver for $50.
Big mistake. For them.
Huge. The police traced that gun, the casings, right back to Bain. Facing murder charges himself, Bain told them everything. Implicated Tyson.
Oh, they got him.
They did. Sean Tyson, even though he was only 16, was tried as an adult. He got 2 life sentences, no chance of parole.
Justice in a way, but it doesn't bring them back.
No. At the sentencing, another friend of theirs, Joe Hallett, read this incredibly powerful statement directly to Tyson. He said, "Every night you go to sleep, every morning you wake up, I want you to think of my friends who you murdered. They will haunt you."
Wow. That really captures the enduring pain, doesn't it? This story is a brutal example of how quickly things can escalate. A wrong turn, a robbery gone wrong, maybe wounded pride, and then just irreversible tragedy. 2 lives extinguished over nothing. It's a stark reminder of impulsive violence and its devastating reach.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we've seen 2 incredibly disturbing stories. Both started with a wrong turn, a simple mistake in navigation or judgment.
One led into a house of hidden horrors, the other into a fatal encounter on an unfamiliar street.
It really underscores how thin that line can be, doesn't it? Between just being lost and finding yourself in real, immediate danger. These aren't just cautionary tales. They show the darkness that can exist right beneath the surface, in places or moments we might think are safe.
And maybe the truly unsettling thought to leave you with is about that unpredictability, not just of places, but of people. The potential for extreme violence or profound darkness can exist where you least expect it. It suggests that maybe, just maybe, a constant low-level vigilance and awareness of your surroundings isn't paranoia. It's simply acknowledging the world as it is capable of both incredible beauty and sudden, inexplicable danger, sometimes separated by nothing more than a single wrong turn.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into these really unsettling accounts. We hope they gave you something to think about, maybe sent a chill down your spine, and kept you listening.
Stay aware out there.
If you found this deep dive compelling, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Horror Docx. We'll have more stories that explore these darker corners of reality. Until next time, please stay safe and always be aware of where you are.